Well, guys, after 17 movie reviews, this is my 18th Christmas movie review. This will be my final Christmas review, and I can't think of a better film to end with than the one I'm about to review to you guys. And that movie needs no introduction. It doesn't need any introduction. I saw this movie for the first time last year. I knew I was gonna love it. Ended up loving it to death. I think this movie's an absolute masterpiece. And again, it really needs no introduction, but I am going to introduce it. That is the 1946 Christmas dramedy classic, It's a Wonderful Life. I need applause for this movie because it doesn't get better than this movie. This is the single greatest Christmas movie of all time. Anyone who says it is the best Christmas movie of all time, and I remember when I saw it, I'm like, it can't be that good. It can't be that amazing. I mean, it's a movie from 1946. How does it still hold up today? Well, it totally does. And there's so many things that this movie just does perfectly. And let's just get to the plot of It's a Wonderful Life. If you guys don't know the plot of It's a Wonderful Life, watch the movie right now, because the movie is on NBC right now as I speak. And if you guys want to see it, just watch it now. But at the time I'm filming this review, at least, I don't know when this review is going to go up. But when I'm reviewing it right now, it's on NBC right now. But if you guys watch the movie before then, it's not going to be. But whatever. Basically, this movie is basically about this man named George Bailey. Now, he is very troubled, very deeply troubled, and he's very suicidal. And, he very much is at the point of his life where he just wants to end his life. Now, fearing that this is going to happen, basically, Clarence Oddbody, who is the second angel in the second class, is assigned to save George by basically, the head angel, basically. And in order to prepare him, his superior, Joseph, basically shows flashbacks of George's life to him, and we kind of see where George's life went wrong, and how basically eventually gets to the point where George, we basically see how his whole life, he had a lot of problems in his life. He wasn't, very successful and things like that. He has scarlet fever. He does marry, this beautiful girl, his true love, Mary, but he's kind of low on money and things like that. He ends up possibly, losing his job and things like that. He's not able to go into the war. Like, a lot of things definitely bothering him. And he pretty much starts blaming himself for things to the point where he starts wishing that he himself had never been born. And basically, Clarence shows him what the world would be like if he was never born. And that's basically a plot of It's a Wonderful Life. Now, what I love about this movie, and it does not sound like a Christmas movie at all, but it is a Christmas movie. And the thing it is that makes it a Christmas movie is that it's not just about the actual Christmas holiday. It's about the true spirit of Christmas and why Christmas is so important. Good spirits and faith and things like that. And those messages in the movie of that, and how your life can turn around so much, and how people always be there for you. And it's just, it doesn't really get more Christmassy than that. It's a very deep message, but it doesn't get more Christmassy than that. And I think the thing that makes the movie so good is the acting. The acting in this movie is so good, and the characters are so fantastic as well. And our main star here, once again, he needs no introduction. James Stewart as George Bailey gives one of the best actors' performances of all time. I mean, not only just one of my favorite Christmas movie of all time, it is my favorite. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It really is that good. And James Stewart completely kills it in this role. He had the part down perfectly as George Bailey. He was born to play him. And if they were to remake this movie, it would probably suck. It really would, because I can't see them remaking It's a Wonderful Life. I thought I heard they were going to do that a few years ago. I really hope they don't go by with that decision. But the thing I love about George Bailey's character, and the thing I love about this movie, is that this is not only a movie that takes place during Christmas, or it takes place one time. No, we get to see all of George Bailey's life. We get to see how badly his life ended up, what ended up happening for him in his life, and how, it all started when he saved his brother, who had fallen through the ice. He got scarlet fever because of that. Then he worked in that pharmacy and helped that, druggist, Mr. Gower, almost killing that child with the poison. Then he, ended up marrying Mary and things like that, and how he was running low on money and things like that, and he was having problems with that. And I love that the movie just did that. It made us care about his character so much more. If they would have just introduced him in this movie, and then just showed him go through this during Christmas, basically just show him going through this and just hearing about it. No, we need to physically see it. It really is an example of show, not tell. It really is more effective if you show it rather than a character just talk about it, because this is something that you need to see. And I love that the movie does that. When I first watched this movie, I didn't know they were going to do that. I didn't know we were going to see his entire life, but it's called It's a Wonderful Life, but I think he just got the part down perfectly, and I believe he actually won the Oscar for this role, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he did. No, he was nominated. Why didn't he win? I don't know, but he should have won. This movie was also nominated for Best Picture, definitely, and it definitely does deserve that, but I think that he just did a fantastic job. And just as good as him is Donna Reed as Mary Hatch Bailey, who you can tell she is a very devoted wife. She really wants to be there for George. He slowly is just growing more senile and more crazy as this movie goes on. He starts blaming himself for things, but she was always there for him. I love that about her character. You know, she was a very good character. I like that they knew each other since they were children. I definitely really enjoyed that, because it wasn't like she just randomly showed up in his life. I like the movie really showed that they knew each other since they were children, and yeah, they did have that bond. I thought that was very well done, and one of my favorite parts of the movie, and something that the movie actually focuses on for a lot of the movie, I'd say like the first half of the movie, is their love story. It really is a love story between the two of them, and I definitely think they show it, and then, you know, show how they met very, very well in their love story and how much they loved each other. And I think the chemistry between those two is fantastic. It is amazing chemistry, and I think they both did a fantastic job. Henry Travers as Clarence Oddbody is such a great character. You know, he's the angel that's showing George's life. He's showing him how important life is, and he really makes the movie so great to watch. He also has some very funny moments. In the beginning of the movie, of course, when he's watching all of these moments in George's life, you know, things that he says are very funny to watch. I think he has actually some very funny lines. I like the movie has some comedy in there. He was actually a very good character. I thought his character was very, very well done, and I just thought he was great. Loved his character. Lionel Barrymore plays our main villain here, Mr. Potter, who, of course, is George's boss, and of course, they call him the meanest man in the world. I thought his character was really, really good. I mean, you definitely saw the motives for his character, why he was doing what he was doing, and I thought his character was very well done because of that. I thought he just did a very fantastic job. He really just did a fantastic job in this role. I loved what he... You know, I loved what he, I loved his character. I thought he just did a great job, and he was just absolutely fantastic. I don't know how to describe it. This is one of those movies where it's very hard to describe how much you love, because it really is just that good. Everyone else in the movie is fantastic. Every single role in this movie. Also, you have to talk about George and Mary's kids. They were fantastic, but I was surprised that they come in so late in the movie, because the poster makes you think that they're a big part of the movie. They are a very big part of the movie, but I thought they all did a very good job as well. The other thing that makes the movie so good is the amazing directing by Frank Capra. He just paced this movie and directed so perfectly, and it's such top-notch, very in-depth directing. Really, he was absolute fantastic directing, and just top notch, knocked it out of the park. He should have won the damn Oscar that year. I don't understand why he didn't win it, because he did such a great job directing this movie. He fleshed out the character so well. He made us care about it more. He made us love the movie more, and everything he did was just fantastic. And also, I forgot to say, the first time I watched the movie, I watched it in color, and then I watched it back in black and white. It's really best if you watch it either way. I say it's good either way, but the screenplay was great as well. The dialogue exchange between the characters is great, and I like that. I like the dialogue. It's not boring. They're not these long conversations. No, the screenplay is very good. I definitely love the screenplay. Definitely, the story's great. Also, the movie follows the source material very well. This is based on a book called The Greatest Gift. I don't know if it follows the source material, but I've heard it does. I heard it definitely does follow that source material, and if it does, that's another plus the movie has. The score to this movie is just amazing. It'll make you cry, probably. The score of this movie just is so great that it will probably make you cry. I think the score is fantastic to this movie. I love the score, and just beautiful, beautiful score. Cinematography for the 1940s is amazing. Especially like the flashbacks when they keep like flashing back to them are very well done. And again, if you made this movie now, it'd be terrible. And the cinematography is very, very good in this movie, definitely. If you watch it in color, especially, it lights up the movie a lot more. And I saw it in color. Color, it looks like it was made today. It really does. It's that good. And if you watch it in black and white too, it looks like it was made today. It looks like it's as good black and white as the artist, really. That's how good the black and white transfer is. The editing is fantastic. The movie is quite lengthy, but it moves by so quickly, and I love that about the movie. It moves by so quickly. You're into it the entire time. There's no way you can lose focus into this movie. If you're not interested in this movie, why are you not interested in this movie? How can you not be interested into It's a Wonderful Life? I don't see how that's possible. And I think that is just absolutely fantastic, the way the editing is done. Just fantastic, fantastic editing. Everything about this movie is just fantastic. Now, we do have to talk about some spoilers for this movie. Also, guys, the other thing I love is a part, of course, what ends up happening when George doesn't understand. And again, I'm going to talk about the messages again. What this movie is really trying to show is enjoy your life. Enjoy your life. Yes, you may have some screw ups. Yes, you may have some days where you're just done. Yes, people may shit on you. Yes, people may give you shit. Yes, you'll have a lot of problems in life. Yes, you'll probably deal with a lot going on. But at the end of the day, you need to accept that, the greatest gift, and the reason that book is called The Greatest Gift is because the thing they say in the movie is that he's trying to take away the greatest gift of all, and the greatest gift of all is being here, having life on Earth, enjoying your life. I mean, George really does not have that bad of a life. Yes, some bad things have happened to him. Yes, he's had a lot of speed bumps and things that he hasn't gotten everything he's wanted, but look at what happens when he's not. Look at what happens when he's not born. Things get really, really bad when he's not born, definitely. I mean, Bedford Falls is now named Pottersville. Mr. Potter owns the town and everything. Bailey Park has never even been has never been built. It remains an old cemetery. And, he can now hear in his left ear, and his lip is not bleeding, and his clothes are, dry and everything. Of course, he never existed in the alternate reality. But of course, Mr. Gower, was sent to, and a lot of things. The other thing that the movie does so well in the beginning is that it's not just currently what's going on, which I like seeing. I like that when we get to seeing George's life, it's not just currently what's going on, like what's currently going on in the story. It's things that George did that are so important. And there are parts of the movie where you're like, why are they showing us this? Oh, that's why. When we see that Mr. Gower was actually sent to prison for poisoning a child and is despised, and is homeless and everything. When we see that, Martini does not own the bar, and he's, Martini's bartender owns it and runs in a very reckless manner. When we see that George's friend Violet is a taxi dancer, things like that. George's mother is, Uncle Billy is in an insane asylum, who also, by the way, was a very good performance. I forgot to say that. Harry's dead as a result of George not being there to save him. Those things I love the movie does, and it's fleshed out perfectly when they do that. And just seeing that's what made George so happy. And then of course George is so happy to live his life and everything. His prayers answered. He runs home joyously. But of course, they're there to arrest him. He's about to be arrested, and Mary, Uncle Billy, and a flood of townspeople arrive with more. But luckily, they arrive with enough donations to save George. And I love that the movie ends with them all singing "Auld Lang Syne," because if you really think about that song, is perfect to end this movie with, and it really sums up life. I mean, think about the lyrics. Should all acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should all acquaintance be forgot in days of auld lang syne? I mean, really, it is perfect. It's a song that everyone knows. It's a song that works perfectly in this movie, and really, George is our everyman, really. You cannot, if you don't tell me you cannot relate to this movie, then you can. I mean, you can relate to this movie no matter what, because everyone has those days where they just want to end their life. Everyone has those days where things are not going right for them. Everyone has times in their life where bad things happen. And this movie shows that perfectly. What this movie all shows, though, is that all that can change in an instant. All that can change if you're more positive about yourself, and if you have more positive outlook on life. And this movie just shows that perfectly. And if that's not more of a Christmas, and if that doesn't represent Christmas more, then I don't know what does, because this movie does really represent Christmas perfectly. Not only is Christmas present in this movie, but the movie really does show why Christmas is so important. I mean, think about why we celebrate Christmas. Because Christ was born, of course. That's why we celebrate Christmas. Because of life. That's why. That's why this is a Christmas movie. Because it's all about life and how precious life is. And life is what Christmas is all about. So I think this movie just represents that perfectly, and I love that the movie does that. If you guys have not seen It's a Wonderful Life, watch it right now. It's an absolute masterpiece. I love it to death. I cannot praise it enough. There's so many other things I could say about the movie, but I'm not going to. I just love it, love it, love it so, so much. It's a fantastic movie. Everyone in the movie was absolutely fantastic, and I just think it is absolutely just an absolute masterpiece that I just love to death. I love it. But that's basically my review of It's a Wonderful Life, guys. And now we're going to talk a little about what have I thought of the Christmas movie reviews. Honestly, guys, out of all the classic movie reviews I've done, I mean, the classic movie reviews, the Halloween movie reviews, and the Christmas movie reviews, this has probably been the most fun I've had out of any of them, because this was so fun to do. It really was. It was really fun to go back and watch some of my favorite Christmas movies. It was really fun to watch Christmas movies I haven't seen in like a few years. I haven't seen Jingle All the Way in years. I haven't seen How to Grinch Stole Christmas in years. So it was really cool to go back and watch all those. It was a really fun time to do that. And I definitely really enjoyed them. And even movies that I didn't really like watching, like Bad Santa, I still really like reviewing them for you guys. I mean, they were still, they were still a lot of fun to do, and I definitely really enjoyed that. Especially getting to see Miracle on 34th Street, movie I've always really wanted to see. That's the second best Christmas movie of all time, because it's the best, as I said. But really, I just had a great time reviewing them. They really put me into the Christmas spirit. I wasn't into the Christmas spirit before reviewing those movies, and now I am. I really am into the Christmas spirit. And of course, Christmas is tomorrow, so I figured I would end it today. I was gonna end it tomorrow, but I'm not gonna have time to watch It's a Wonderful Life tomorrow. I won't have time. I'm not going to. Plus, I'm currently trying to watch season 2 of Shameless and finish it so I can go to season 3, because I have like 3 other shows to binge, so I'm doing that as well. And I know that I didn't get to watch as many as I wanted to, but I definitely watched a lot more than I did with my Halloween movie reviews, which I'm very proud of myself for doing that. And I think it was just that I was more committed to this. I definitely committed myself more to this. I enjoy Christmas movies more than I do Halloween movies, so I think that's why I did it. And really, just every single movie I watched, and a lot of them, one of the things I love about doing this was it made me realize how much, it made me remember how much I love them. I forgot how much I love Home Alone. I forgot how much I loved, A Nightmare Before Christmas, and it was great getting to go back and do that, and it was really, really awesome that I got to go back and do that. It was a lot of fun to really do. Also, Gremlins, I've never seen that either. I haven't seen Elf in a very long time, and it was great to go back and remember how much I loved watching that, which I loved doing. But honestly, guys, that's it for my Christmas movie reviews, and it's sad to say that they're over, but yeah, they're over. That's the end of my Christmas movie reviews, and I hope you guys really enjoyed them. I really love reviewing these, you guys. It's been an absolute, I really had a fun time reviewing all of these Christmas movies. You guys, sorry guys, I'm getting a Skype call. But really, guys, I've had a great time reviewing all these Christmas movies, and I hope you guys had a fun time watching them. But that's it for this review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please, if you have not seen It's a Wonderful Life, watch it right now. And I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be for a movie review, because I've gotten 2 movies for Christmas so far. One I'm not so happy about. We'll get to that. It may or not be a rant video. We'll see what happens there, but I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye. And also, hope you all have a very Merry Christmas. I will see you guys tomorrow, because I will be reviewing movies, but I hope you guys have a great Christmas. Let me know how your Christmas is going, what are your plans for Christmas. I think I'm going to have a pretty good Christmas this year. I'm definitely into Christmas more after reviewing these movies, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.